Hello there. Hey, welcome to another video tutorial. Today's lesson is simplifying algebraic expressions. So let's get out a pencil, a piece of paper. Let's take some notes to this wonderful topic. What? Excuse me. All right, so here we go. The lesson, simplifying algebraic expressions. Well, just to review, in the last video tutorial, we talked about an expression. An expression is anything that has variables, constants, operations to an equation. Okay, so here we have an expression. And in this expression, we have variables, like the x. We have coefficients, such as the 2, as well as the 3. And we have constants, okay? So a coefficient is just a number before a variable. Constants, well, that's what they are. They're just that number. They have that value. 3 is just 3, okay? Here, though, we don't know what this value is because this variable could represent lots of things. It could be 3, 4, 5, 6. But this means 2 times this number. Okay? So anyway, this is an expression. And in that expression, you have variables, you have constants, you have operations. Well, what we want to discuss is that when you have an expression like this, you can add or subtract your like terms. Like, yeah, like, really? Yes. Okay, so you can add or subtract like terms. And like terms are parts of the expression whose variables or powers are the same. Please write that down. Please write this down. They're parts of an expression who they have the same variable or they have the same power. Okay? So this 3x and this 2x are like terms. Yeah. Like, yeah. This plus 4 and this minus 3 are also like terms, but all 4 of them are not like terms. These are 2 like terms because they have the same power. They're both to the first power. This is 4 to the first power. And this is 3 to the first power. Remember, we discussed this before about powers. If you have 3 to the first power, that just means you're multiplying 3 to 1 time. 3 to the first power is just 3. So when you say 3, you just say 3. But it's really 3 to the first power. Okay. So this is 4 to the first power, this is 3 to the first power. Those are like terms. You also have 2 times a number and 3 times that same number. Those are like terms. And you can add or subtract like terms. What does that mean? That means I can add my 3 times this number plus 2 times this number. I have 3 of these numbers plus 2 of these numbers, which gives me how many of those numbers? 5. Gives me 5 of those numbers. 5 numbers. Okay? Then I have a plus 4 with a minus 3. So plus 4 with a minus 3 gives me how much total? Plus 1. And I have now just simplified this expression. This expression, I combine my 3x with my 2x, which gives me 5x. I combine my 4 to the first power minus my 3 to the first power, which gives me 1 to the first power. And now I'm done. I've simplified the expression. So let's just do this practice one more time. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So here, look at this. Shout out in 10 seconds what this would be. Simplify. What do you think this would be? Shout it out. That was about 10 seconds. Well, did you shout out 3x plus 3? Yes? No. Well, if you said no, listen real closely. This is one of those numbers. This is 2 of those numbers. Remember, this is 2 times a number. And this is 1 times that number. If you don't see a number next to this variable, it's 1. So you have 1 of these numbers times 2 of these numbers, which gives you 3 of these numbers, plus 3. So it's 3x plus 3. Let's try this again. Try this one. Try to simplify this one. Shout it out in 10 seconds or write it down, if you need to write it down, but try to do this one. Did you say 4x plus 1? Why? I have 3 of these numbers plus 1 of those numbers, which gives me 4 of those numbers. Then I have a plus 3 with a minus 2. Well, that gives me just a plus 1. Let's try one more. Try one more. See what we got back here. Okay? 5 seconds. What do you think? Did you say 2 of those numbers? Yeah. 5 numbers minus 3 numbers gives you 2 of those numbers. 2 of those numbers. So you can combine your like terms. You can add or subtract your like terms. So press pause and solve these 4 problems, and we'll go over them in class tomorrow. Go ahead, press pause and solve these, okay? And then the last thing I just want to discuss is why. Why are we learning this? Why are we learning how to simplify an algebraic expression? And the reason why is because eventually, in about a day or 2 or 3 days from now, you are going to be given this, what's called an equation. Because I now have an equal sign, and I now have the value on the other side. And so you're going to be asked to solve for x. What is x? We don't know. Right now, we don't know. Because it says 2 of these numbers plus 5 plus 1 of these numbers plus 2 of those numbers minus 2 is 43. That sounds hard. But if you simplify, you probably will know the answer. If you just simplify, okay? So if you combine your 2x with your 1x with your 2x, that gives you how many of those x's? That gives you 5 of those x's. So I just combine my variables. And then if you combine your powers, I have a plus, well, let's change the color here. I have a plus 5 with a minus 2, which gives you a plus 3. All that equals 43. Now I bet there's some of you in this class that knows what x is. 5 times what number plus 3 is 43? Yeah, I know. You guys already get it. It's 8, right? So that's why we're learning how to simplify. So we can solve for x. Makes it easier. If you don't know, then we're going to move into that the next day as far as how do we solve this. You just do the opposite. What's the opposite? Add in 3, minus in 3. We'll discuss that. And now we get 5x equals 40. And then you divide by 5 and divide by 5. And then you get x is 8. Okay. But again, why? Here's the why. Why are we learning this? To help solve these equations. Does that make sense? So I hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. It was about 8 minutes long. I hope you have a great evening, great afternoon, great day. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.